Yes. Yeah. Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Today we have our guest Avinash Krishnamurthy. He's like doesn't need any introduction. He has done a back-to-back comrades with us, and also I shared his profile with you guys. Professionally, he's working for TCS for the as a human resources professional over 2 decades. And it'll be interesting to know, amidst this like a busy schedule, how he can spare time for races like an ultra race like Comrades Marathon. As you all already experienced, how much time it's required, all your from February till May, your back-to-back runs and your hill repetitions and all those. So it's you have to spend a lot of time on that, it's like a project. So it'll be interesting to know. At the same time, he'll be sharing his journey up, at the same time down run also. So without wasting any much time, Avinash, please kindly you can explain all our our boys and girls about your experience about back to back, especially this year is going to be up run. So keeping in mind the up run experience, if you can share it, will be great.
Certainly, sir.
Yeah.
First and foremost, very good evening to everybody. Thank you, Satish sir, for this opportunity to connect with fellow comrades. It kind of takes me back to the long sessions we used to have, especially after a long day at work. We have our household things to look at. Dinner is to be cooked. There are people waiting at home. So many things. Somebody's traveling. Somebody's doing. In spite of all of that, the fact that so many people have made time out, I think it's great. Thank you so much for taking time out. Over the next half an hour or so, I've put together a few things which I thought it's important to share from a perspective of someone who cannot claim to have done Comrades the best way, but I have done Comrades in 2023 and in 2024, experiencing both the up and the down route. So at least some few key learnings that I have had as an amateur runner, I thought it's important that I would share it with this group. And again, sir, thanks for this forum. So I've just put a few points together. I thought it's kind of make it I've just put a request, sir, for the sharing part. If you can just enable that, I will just share my screen. If you can just confirm if the presentation is visible, sir.
Sorry, not it.
Okay, I'm just sharing
Okay,
it.
now yes.
Is it visible? Great.
Yeah.
Super. So we'll quickly get started on this journey called Comrades. Now, this particular word, comrades, has enthralled people over so many years, and so is it the case with all of us, and that's the reason why all of us have signed into doing the comrades, right? So, first things first, without any further ado, let's quickly dive into um, the comrades journey. So, how many of us here on the call have heard about the Scarfella Moya thing? Anyone can just unmute and quickly answer.
No, I haven't heard about it.
You haven't heard about it. Super.
No.
Anybody else? Anyone?
Yeah, I just heard about it around a week back when I saw the slogan. Actually, I just
Love.
received some communication. I saw the slogan, what it means. Yeah.
Super. Super. Great. So every year, the beauty about Comrades is that they pick up some slogan. They pick up a particular slogan or a theme for a particular year. And that is the theme with which every single runner would be running Comrades. So this year's theme is called Skafela Moya. Loosely translating it into English, it means do not lose heart or never give up. Okay, it's a translation from the isiZulu language, which is one of the most widely spoken languages in South Africa. So it's a very apt theme for all of us, especially when you're doing such a big race. For many of us, it's probably the longest distance we would have ever done, or the longest distance which we may ever do in our life. Okay, so it becomes very, very special. And theme is so close to our heart because it basically talks about the fact that no matter what it is, we are not going to give up until and unless we cross that finish line on the 14th of June. Okay, so that's precisely how we have this particular theme. I just thought I'll put it out to you so that you all are also aware. And this is something which you will see most people at South Africa also talking about. So it's good to kind of memorize the Skafela Moya thing, even though we may not know the way we pronounce it, but just knowing those three words is good to start with. So today's interaction with us, I have structured it into 4 or 5 basic points which I want to touch about. I think the most structured way to go about breaking Comrades is I thought we'll use the 5W1H technique so that we're able to get to the root of it. I'm sure many of us are aware. For the ones who are not aware, this is a problem solving technique which we use mostly in corporates where we're able to get to the root of the problem and still get clarity in terms of what we want to do. This is going to the how part of it, the H part of it will be a detailed drill down in terms of how we go about planning for Comrades. I'll try and touch upon what not to do. I think what to do, you have a lot of people telling you, do this, do that. This is beneficial, that is beneficial. A lot of free advice, etc., is available for you. But what not to do, you're going to have very, very few people who will actually tell you that. I'll spend a few minutes in terms of what worked for me. How did I crack Comrades Marathon in 2023 and 24? Last two things which I would want to touch about is my learnings from Comrades and also the certain life lessons that it has taught me. And finally, I think we'll keep some amount of time for questions so that if you have something very specific, we can ask it now or even at a later point in time, you can put it up to me. Hope this format is okay with all of us here. Anything specific that you all want to know, if you can let me know right away, I can structure my next 15-20 minutes on this.
This is fine. This is absolutely fine.
This is fine.
Yeah,
excellent. Nice.
Lovely. Lovely. Great. So let's quickly dive into it. So when we talk about the 5W1H technique, I think the first 3Ws are generally the how part of it. We have the what part of it, the where part of it, when part of it. We'll come to the how part of it later on. So as all of us know, I'm just reiterating so that everybody is on the same page. So Comrades is one of the oldest ultramarathon races in the world. As many of us would know, this is a race which had started in the year 1921. Okay, so it's actually got a legacy of more than 100 years being into existence. And since then, this race has been happening. So 2021 was the centenary year, whereas the centenary edition is going to be in the year 2027. Anybody on the call would know why do we see a difference between the centenary year and the centenary edition of it, except Satish sir, anybody can answer.
It did not happen during the World War and COVID.
Yeah. COVID time it didn't happen.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
War time
So,
it didn't happen, yeah.
perfect. So bingo, great. So these are the only exceptions of 6 years where for 4 years during the World War II, it did not happen. This had started after World War I. And if you read about the history of Comrades also, it's largely to do with war themes. It's about celebrating soldiers, people who had lost lives during the World War I. So World War II, it didn't happen. And again, the pandemic is something where we did not see the Comrades happening. Okay. Now, as all of us would know, it's an approximately 90 kilometers of run. There are more kilometers added in the down run, and there are lesser kilometers in the up run. This is how traditionally this run has been, largely to do with the fact that when you're coming in the direction of gravity, you can cover up a little more, and when you're going against gravity, you have certain reduction in the number of kilometers given to you. Okay, approximately ballpark figure 22,000 participants is what is expected for this year. However, this number is scheduled to kind of go up. They're also looking at a record participation of people in the 27 edition. So this is basically the what is Comrades part of it. Now I'm quickly going to go into the where part of it. So this happens in South Africa. I'm sure all of us are aware, but this is always a good revision to have. It's good to refresh us. So it's generally held in the KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa. The up run is where you run from the Durban city to Pietermaritzburg, which is you're running from sea level, you're running into a higher elevation. Approximately, it is about 331 feet. And when you're doing the down run, you start from a small village on top of a hill called as Pietermaritzburg, and you're running to Durban. Why this information is important to us is largely to the extent that you are trying to acclimatize your body over a span of 10 to 12 hours from temperatures ranging from as less as 5 degrees to temperatures ranging up to 25 to 30 degrees. And so that's where this particular point becomes extremely important for us. And now going to the when part of it, all of us are aware this is going to happen on the 14th of June, which is a Sunday, and all of us are eagerly preparing for this. Okay, now having done the first three W's, I'm going to quickly go to the next W, which is the why part of it. So how many of us here on the call actually know why we are doing Comrades? To each their own, but I would at least want to get some responses as to what is driving you to do Comrades.
So I think it's one, as far as we know, it's one of the toughest runs, correct?
Absolutely.
So somebody, I don't know, Srilesh, we heard Srilesh a couple of weeks back. So, not that I decided only after that speech. This was a couple of weeks back. I decided much before that. But he said, एक बार Comrades कर लिया तो your life changes. How you look at people and how people look at you, everything changes actually. No, that's one. And it's okay. And one, I think it's one of the most famous, big events, correct? Unlike any other ultra, as you rightly said, it's one of the oldest even 100-year-old event, and longest ultra. So once I think you do 88, then you can feel कि भाई कुछ कर सकते हैं. 88 कर दिया तो बहुत कुछ कर लिया है. Honestly, simple words.
Yeah, very nicely put. I think that's a driver. The biggest race, the largest race in the world, which is so talked about. I want to be a part of it. Very, very simple. So nicely put. Anybody else as to why you all want to do Comrades?
I think that's the question that I get every day in the morning.
Nice. Very good. And let it keep going on. Let it keep hitting you till you actually complete Comrades. Okay. Let it not help you
Jeelam,
answer.
why you want to do it?
So I have always heard about Comrades from Satish sir. So it has been a dream for me since 2021. Every year I have been, planning, कि, अच्छा ठीक है, let me do, and something or the other keeps coming up. So why I want to do it is like, I have heard that it is a very difficult run. So I want to do it for myself, for the fact that if I'm able to finish such a race, it is going to make me feel very confident. It will make me more confident about myself, and make me feel that yes, I am strong enough. So that kind of a feeling I have. So
very nice. Very nice. Good to hear so many different responses. Someone trying to figure out what Comrades is, someone wants to feel strong about it. I think this is the beauty of Comrades. And to be very honest, I had more questions than you all when I set out. Somewhere during the journey, I also started questioning that what have I got into? I'm sure that feeling would be hitting you all at some point in time.
Yeah.
Is it really worth it? Do I need to still endure? June is far away, though it's just 72 days from today, but it still looks like it's 700 days to go. So all these feelings are very justified, very valid, and very human to come as a part of. So one good thing which I think few of you all have and few of you all are going to do is somewhere during the course, there will be that some point where you will discover the purpose why you're actually running Comrades. Okay, which is like a very beautiful thing. Everybody has a reason to run. We just saw that now. Somebody may be running for their own self, somebody may be running to experience the course. Some of us may not even know about why we have got into it till we've actually finished it. Okay, so it could be distance, it could be sheer history, it could be the legacy, 100 years plus of existence. It could be, you would have heard about the celebration, right? The whole city, the whole country comes together. 10 times the number of people who are running are the ones who are actually on the streets who are cheering. For many of us, it's more of a discovery. How can I make myself better? How can I push my limits, etc.? Some of us are running purely for the human spirit that gets displayed in an event like Comrades. And for quite a few of us, it could just be the pride associated with it. A natural part of an evolution of a runner, somebody who started small distances, who've done half marathons, who's done full marathons, who's got into ultra marathons, and eventually wants to be claimed as somebody who's done Comrades. Okay, so if I may just take a minute there. So initially you'll be said, people will look at you as saying, okay, he's a half marathon distance runner. Then once you become a full marathon, people will say, you know what, he's a FM guy, he does full marathons. You then get into ultra marathons, people will say, hey, he's done with full, he's somebody who does ultra marathons. But when you actually complete Comrades, you are in a different league. People look at you and say, hey, you know what, he's a Comrades guy. And that feeling is something which you will only experience when you actually cross that finish line and come out successful at Comrades. So it means a lot. Symbolically, it means a lot to actually having done. And the great part is all of you all have already signed up for Comrades. You all are halfway through the journey. So the finish line is just around the corner. Okay. And
no escape now.
No escaping now. But putting it more positively, it's just around the corner. You just have to endure the last 70 days, which is just going to fly off in any point in time. And as one of our colleagues said over here, that I still don't know why I am doing Comrades. I think it's the greatest thing to have. Uh, this is the process of discovery. Eventually, you will discover at the end of 14th of June what Comrades is all about. Okay, so I'm glad that all of us are on this journey together, and I'm sure it's going to help us discover something on the other. Great. So we've also done this part. Now I'm going to come to the most difficult part, which is the terms of how do we go about doing Comrades. Okay, so many aspects over here. I'm just going to go systematically. So registrations, all of us have done. The ones who've not done, I think, are going to be waiting for the window to open, where we kind of put in through substitution or through the registration and we get it. Okay, so I think this part, I don't need to spend much of time. Post the registration, I think the most important thing which all of us look at doing is qualification. I'm sure Satish sir has dealt in detail in terms of which are those races where you actually need to qualify and which are those races where you actually need to do a fast FM so that you're able to get a better seeding. These are two distinct things. Many a times people might mix a qualification and a seeding. Not necessarily that everybody does another race and gets a better seating. If your qualification is good enough, you're good enough to go into the race. But at least during our times, I remember we had done one run, because Mumbai Marathon may not be the best of the runs to do for a qualification or a seeding. So we had done a run probably prior to that and got ourselves qualified so that we know for sure, yes, we can go ahead, register, and we'll be at ease. Okay, so that's on the qualification and the seeding part. Third key aspect, which you all are already halfway into it, is the training plan. I think training plan to a large extent needs to be sacrosanct. When I say sacrosanct, whatever is being prescribed, whatever is being given, please try and see, please try and ensure that you all are sticking to the plan as much as possible. There are going to be exception days, but please don't make exception days as a rule. हफ्ते में 3 दिन छूट गया, let it not be that. On this part, at least I like to spend a couple of minutes. Important that you try and do whatever is there in the training plan that day itself. If mornings are not happening, please take some time out in the evenings and try and finish it off, because the moment you carry it forward to the next day, it kind of disturbs the entire week's schedule. You may have a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. The moment you skip a Tuesday, it goes into Wednesday, Wednesday goes into a Friday, and then you will have a trickling effect into it. So as much as possible, stick to the training plans. One-off days here and there is still good to go. What worked best for us were the weekly runs and the long runs. Now, for people, I think, who are already based in a particular city like Mumbai, I'm sure Satish sir is organizing runs in and around this place, or you also have the larger Comrades fraternity, which is doing a lot of runs together. So it's important that we be a part of these group runs or long runs, as we may call it, for the simple fact that this is not a race which, if you have thought in your mind that I'm going to master it or I'm going to tame it all by myself, that may not work. That may really not work, at least for now. For now, it's important that you have your gang, you have your people hanging around with you. Eventually, you will need them, if not for the physical support, you'll at least need them for the psychological or the mental support. So long runs become extremely important. Coupled with the long runs are the events. I'm sure you all already have drawn a calendar which you all are following. So you did a qualification, you did a Mumbai marathon, you would have probably done a Tata Ultra or an equivalent run. And then after that is where you have your long runs or long events. It could be a Kalimpong, it could be a Ooty Ultra, it could be any of these runs. These runs are the ones which actually foster that confidence in you that, yes, when I'm building up on my mileages from a 42 to a 50 to a 55 to a 60 to a 65, um, body becomes equipped to take that distance of 90 kilometers on that day. And as all of you all know, by the rule of thumb, we never do the distance of the entire race course ever as a part of the practice run. It's always a rule of 70 or 80%, which the coaches generally prescribe. So which means your longest run could be about 60, 65, right, sir? Not beyond that. Generally, people would stick to a 60 or a 65, which would be the ideal run. So it's perfectly fine. Let's not get overwhelmed by the fact that, okay, my maximum I have done is only 65, but I have to do another 30 more. I think on that day, it just automatically, organically happens. So don't get overly worried about the fact that I'm falling short by 30 and my longest run is only about 60, 65.
Yeah, only the reason is, Avinash, just sorry to interrupt. Reason is like you don't do 70 or 75 and all that because recovery, most of us, some of them they recover, most of us we may not recover. So the whole week goes for a toss next following week, that's the reason. That's the reason we do a 60, 65 is good enough. So, yeah.
So that's the importance on the group runs. Another aspect which becomes extremely key important is nutrition. I'm sure each of us over here have our own nutrition plan. Maybe this or a little earlier is a time to experiment with things, but at least for now, I think we should stop experimenting because we are just about a month and a half from the race day. What has worked for us well so far, let's stick to it and let's do more of it. Whatever has not worked, I think it's kind of time to drop those things out. Anything that is not helping you, anything that is not aiding you, anything that is not helping you fuel your runs, please avoid them at any cost. Okay, from now at least it's important that we've had umpteen examples where people have reached South Africa 2 days prior to the run. They have fallen ill because they have eaten probably the wrong kind of food. They have not stuck to the discipline. They saw a grand spread of things of buffet at the hotel where they were staying. They ate something, the oil didn't suit them, etc., etc., and immediately the whole planning that you've done for the last 9 months has gone for a toss. So pay extreme importance to nutrition, hydration. Both of these become very important to you. As I told you, what worked well for you so far, continue with those. What has not worked for you, please drop them across. Okay, coming back to the point which Satish sir also mentioned, reason why we don't do too much of mileage nowadays is the fact that recovery takes that much more time. So it's important that we also start recovering well so that we are fresh on the race day. The last thing we want is to go fatigued into the race day and not feel fresh about it. Okay. There might be questions people may ask that, do you feel sleepy when you're running 90 kilometers? Answer could be yes. So don't fatigue yourself out. Be absolutely fresh when it goes to running on that day. Yeah. These are other hygiene things which I'm sure you all are taking care of. If not, it's important that you start ticking all of these items as and when possible. Do not keep anything to the last minute. Especially with the geopolitical things that are happening now, it's important that you book tickets in advance, get your travel itinerary in place, put in your accommodation if that's still not done. I'm sure if for people at least traveling with Satish sir, he ensures that every small detail is taken care of. But if at all it's anything different from that, it's important that we all stay together and lesser anxiety on any of these small things. We've seen instances where people have tried to cut cost, taken a flight which is probably have 3 or 4 stopovers, and they have reached completely fatigued at South Africa. So that's not something we would really want to do. Some people opted for maybe the local transportations, etc., on their own. And it's an alien country, you're going to get lost. So the lesser you're wanting to experiment with all these things, the better we have standard patterns which are already available. It's better to go with them at least for your first or the second run. my recommendation would always be not to experiment on these things. Okay. The next important part which will be there is the expo part. Okay. So as you all know, the expo would start from a Wednesday or a Thursday, leading into a Friday and a Saturday. This year being the up run, you have the expo open on Saturday also. Correct me if I'm wrong, Satish sir, but then till Saturday you're going to have the expo open. But
Yeah,
it is
Saturday.
yeah. But as sir would say, it's recommended that you finish off the expo at least a couple of days in advance, which means if your race is on Sunday, um, ideally either on a Friday or a Thursday, whenever sir is going to be planning with the rest of the India gang, it's better you go and get done with the expo. Again, small details like going there, getting your bib, verifying whether it's your name which is printed against that or not, uh, ensuring that your chip is validated, if the RFID is reading properly or no. Because we had an instance where on the day before the run, suddenly one of the runners realized that he had forgotten to validate the chip at the expo. And then he had to actually go in the evening all by himself, go to the expo, validate, because the last thing you want is to take a risk on any aspect. So ensure that the expo is getting done fast. Do not tire yourself too much out at the expo, because you will be used to standing for longer time. You might spend a lot of time shopping, etc., etc. Um, Maintain some level of restraint at least at the expo. Finish off those things, come back fast, and ensure you're getting a lot of rest. Now, pre-race day is generally very special. Uh, Closer to the hotel where we stay, we generally do one run, which is like a kind of a shake-off run, which we do just before the run. We'll see loads of people over there. Several thousand people are there from different countries, different provinces. All of them are going to be at their best over that day. So don't miss out the celebration part, which happens actually on the race day. And after that, you ensure that you're getting good enough rest for the day prior to that. Then comes the most important one, which is the race day. It's key that all of us have a race day strategy in place. Uh, Nothing fancy about it, but it's very important that you have a mental map of what you're going to do, what time you're going to get up, what is it they're going to wear. Ensure that the previous day everything is already kept in place. Your bibs up and your garment, whatever you're going to wear, is done. Your smartwatches are charged. Again, simple tips like please go only to the venue and then start your smartwatch, because if you're going to use your smartwatch all along the way, you're going to drain out on the battery. So simple tips like those is important. Again, it is going to be cool. It's going to be windy. So it's recommended that you have a couple of layer of clothes with you, which you can discard when you're about to start the race and you're going to go about it. So small tips, I'm sure Satish sir has dealt in much detail on these aspects. So any information that's going to come your way, I know it could be an information overload, but it's important that you make a mental note, and how you're planning to go about in the race. I think that also becomes extremely important. And once you've completed, it's equally important to take good rest on the post race day. There's a lot of celebration that happens post the race. It's like a carnival in South Africa, and sir also ensures that you have the best of the parties that's done there. So equally important that you save some energy for the post race day. The last thing you want to do is found limping on the party, etc., which generally nobody does. But just ensure that you keep a day or two in hand for the post race recovery as well. Okay, so these are largely the things which, uh, from a planning perspective, you need to keep in mind. As I told you, key takeaways would be that anything that's pending at your end, try to ensure that you're trying to tick as many items as possible. It could be forex, it could be insurance, it could be travel ticket, it could be food that you want to carry from India. Um, Try ordering these things. Don't keep anything till the last moment. Start packing your bags right away. Just keep a bag, start dumping everything into it so that you know for a fact that things are just around the corner, right? Okay, so I'm quickly going to spend some a few minutes now. I know it's 45. We'll try and wrap it up quickly, but I'm going to spend some few little time in terms of how different my race was for 23 and how different my race was for 24. These are just some photographs that I kind of gathered together. Now, 23, I was very similar to all of you. I had this long dream that I wanted to do Comrades at some point in time, and over the years of my running kind of led me to the fact that yes, I want to do Comrades because, as one of our colleagues said here, it's a very long race. It's one of the most prestigious ultra marathon runs which I wanted to do. So I had set this ridiculous goal for myself, and I just ventured out with a leap of faith. And first things first, which I did was I think I had stalked Satish sir for almost about a year, pestering him to ensure that I'm able to get some kind of guidance from him. And after that, I think very systematically, we had a big group of people similar to you all who went about preparing for the Comrades. So few things which worked well for me in 23. One is the training plan. Two was the long runs. Three, I think the fear of the unknown that worked well for me. I didn't know what I was going to get into. So quite honestly, I had faith and I followed whatever was required to be done. Um, Something funny in 2023 was that I wanted to start the race with Satish sir and I wanted to close the race across the finish line also with Satish sir. So that's something we were able to do. And quite honestly, having somebody of his experience running besides you makes a lot of difference. Different people may have different takes on how they want to go about Comrades, but I was very clear that the first time I'm doing this race, I wanted to utilize the expertise of Satish sir and ensure that right from 0 kilometer till the end, I was with him. And during the course also, we had a lot of learnings which actually came our way. Finally, of course, when we completed the race into the auditorium, it was absolutely a great feeling. So that is how 23 worked. Again, it was a down run which we did that particular year. So down does seem easy when you are doing it for the first time. But this is one question which even I did not have an answer to. I asked scores of people which is easier, down or the up. I think everybody used to give some goalie or the other. Nobody gave a convincing answer. It's only after I did 23 and 24, if somebody were to ask me today, I would rather want to objectively answer them and say that yes, for me, in my limited understanding, the up run is much easier than the down run. Okay, so good part is that you all are starting with the up run, as it may defy the laws of gravity, that in gravity you're actually coming down more and when against gravity you're going up. So it's tough. It's not the case when you actually spread it over a distance of 80, 90 kilometers and it's completely rolling hills that you are doing. The up works beautifully well. So what was different in 2024 is you have complacence which sets into you, especially if there is somebody in the group who's doing it for the second time. You have that small little arrogance that comes into you which says that हाँ एक बार कर लिया है दूसरे बार भी कर दूंगा. So automatically it starts impacting on your performance. You may not be that serious, you may not be that focused. It did happen to me also, and with all the work commitments etc coming, and it kind of set in. But thankfully this is where sense prevails, and this is where all your learnings that you've had from the first Comrades come in handy. So then it's more about your mind over matter. Okay, and this is where camaraderie comes a lot into play. So the third photograph that you see here is of my friend Arun. Arun and I have been running together for the last almost 8-9 years now, and we had a common dream that we wanted to do Comrades together. 23 he couldn't participate with me for whatever reason it is, but 24 we ensured that we had our plan in place. So right from the start, I think Satish sir was in a different holding area, so he had clearly instructed the two of us that you guys are not waiting for me. Though we had told him that sir, we'll take a seeding drop and we'll come to holding area G and 2, he was very clear, no, you guys are proceeding ahead. So we went ahead with that plan and we ensured that we kind of surprised ourselves. So somewhere, I think at the 55th kilometer or something, we took a very bold call that we guys were doing strong. And we had a back of the envelope calculation in terms of how many points were left and how much more to go. I think that's where we took a call and we started accelerating. And we managed to crack it under 11 hours. We had set a target of 11 and a half or 11:15, but we managed to bring it down to 11 hours. So I think that was a great achievement for us. We felt really elated that we could, put the strategy in place and do it well. This was not certainly the case in 23. 23, we were I was more conservative. I would keep checking with Satish sir. And the good part about Satish sir is that he would exactly tell you at what point you can pivot and what point you can go ahead. So while we had a big group with us, Like he often keeps joking, right? He has a bus when he starts with, and then that bus becomes a car, and that car becomes a auto rickshaw. The auto rickshaw then becomes a bicycle, and then poor fellow is the last one who's crossing the finish line. That didn't happen in 23. When we started, we had about 60, 70 people with us. And then eventually he used to tell people that now, you should go ahead and you should finish strong. You have a sub 11 finish, you have a 10:30 finish, Bill Rowan, you can do, etc. So I think going by his guidance, having faith on what he's saying becomes extremely important. And the icing on the cake in 24 obviously was the back-to-back medal that you get after completing two Comrades. So this is also a small information and nudge to all those people who are doing now for the first time, is that you have something bigger to look forward in 27, because you will obviously participate in your back-to-back marathon, hopefully, and you're doing it in the centenary edition of the marathon. So that's going to make it even more special for you, right? So this is broadly how 23, 24 worked for me. Nutrition wise, I am a minimalist, so I generally go completely organic. This is what works for me, and I keep the food, etc., very very simple. I don't complicate it. Whatever I get on the way, I would have that and go. I do not use gels. Sorry to say this on this forum, but I don't use gels at all. I've done both Comrades 23 and 24 without consuming a single packet of gel. So I supplemented by using whatever organically is available. Could be dry fruits, could be biscuits, could be fruits which you get on the way. Having Coke after completing 60, 70% of your race. All of these and more worked well for me. So that's in short about 23, 24. I am cognizant of the time, so we'll quickly move into the other part. Okay, before that, do we have any questions here? Or should I take questions to the end, Sati sir?
I think if they have anything, you can ask them. Otherwise, in the end, we can take
I'll
it.
take it in
And
the
we
end.
can
Sure.
take,
Yeah.
Sure.
You just write down your questions, then the end
No
we'll
problem.
discuss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be great. Again, this is not to boast about any aspect here, but then this is more to show about the progression of load as we talk about in terms of how the journey at least has been for me. So having started in 2008, I started with a dream run. And from a dream run, I think in 2 years' time, I got frustrated with the distance, and I done my first 10-kilometer run in the year 2010. That time we didn't have many 10-kilometer races, so it was only a distance which I had covered. 2012, I remember having done the first half marathon, and since I work for the Tata Group, 2018 is when we got the title sponsorship for the Tata Mumbai Marathon. So that year I had boldly registered without telling anybody for the full. And the same year we also launched the Tata Ultra Marathon. So that same year I pivoted into the Ultra, and from there I think it was no looking back. Having come this far, it was important that I then pivoted into the Comrades run, and then it was 23 and 24, which kind of got both of these things. The whole purpose behind showing you this is more to do that, more to say that all of us are on different running journeys when it comes to each of us. Each of us are at different points. But what is important is it's important to get started, and the fact that you all have kind of registered for Comrades, it's a big achievement. Okay, no matter how many our other distances, etc., you all have done, this one will certainly be extremely important for you. Okay, so no matter which part of the journey you are in, how much ever you all have done, uh, doing Comrades is extremely important. And kudos to you all that you all have registered and you all are going to be attempting it in this particular year, right? So moving on, these are a few things which Comrades has taught me. I thought the rest of the information you are going to get it anywhere, but these are something very sacred that I have learned. So first things first, very important to have a ridiculous dream. The ridiculous dream here is Comrades, and please be very clear, you are believing in your dreams. No matter whoever talks you out of it, no matter how much ever people may say ki kya kar rahe ho, kyun kar rahe ho, sometimes you may doubt your own self. It's absolutely fine. Just ensure that you are going to live your dream out. Okay. Second thing, Comrades teaches you to challenge yourself, and trust me, more often than not, you will surprise yourself. If you just look back now, distances that you all have done, mileages that you all have done, long runs that you all have done, uh, each of that, when you collectively put together, you'll be surprised that, okay, in the last so many years, I would not have run so much as what I have run in the last 1 year now. Okay, so that itself is a big testimony to the fact that yes, you can surprise yourself. uh, don't procrastinate. This is something which is extremely bad. I know there are going to be very bad days where you don't want to do anything. I think just showing up on those days in the morning, getting out of bed, saying that no, I have a task at hand. I think that becomes extremely important. Even at your home, wherever you can have imageries of things which can motivate you. Like for example, if you look at Sati sir's background, you have so many medals all around the place. You'll have trophies, etc. Do that thing if that works for you from a visualization perspective. Like even in my mobile, I keep this Comrades thing even on now. It's a simple wallpaper that I have put, which every time I open my mobile, it's reminding me that I have signed up for Comrades and I need to be doing. In my office desk, I put a Comrades logo and keep so that I'm not eating junk. I'm hydrating well. Just next to my bottle, I stick a sticker of Comrades and keep. So small cheats, small hacks will help you shed that mediocrity, which will set in somewhere and say that, oh no, I don't think I'm up for it. Okay. It's never too late to start. Even if you're doing bad on our training plans now, it's important to just pick up where it is. 70 days are there. 70 days is a lot. You can do wonders, you can do magic. Even if anything has not gone well so far, you can still do it. So start today, start now. I think that's something which has worked very well for me. Again, as I told you, there is no perfect day. There are going to be 10 other commitments which are waiting for you. Professional commitments, your home commitments. There are times when you may physically not be in for doing something, but it is those days which will actually teach you that it's okay. No need to get paranoid. Even if you miss one of those days, is perfectly fine. But the next day, ensure that you're trying to come back on track and do things. Small steps make a lot of difference. I'll quote an example here. Uh, Satish sir used to always tell us that whenever you see stairs, please take it. Okay, whenever you see, you go to a railway station, you have an escalator, you have an elevator, or you have a stairs, take the stairs. In your building, take stairs. So rather than looking for excuses, if we can look for reasons to cultivate a small habit, trust me, it plays out really big. For me, what worked is my office used to be on the eighth floor when I was practicing for Comrades. Um, uh, Thanks to this tip from Satish sir, I used to walk up 8 floors every day and walk down 8 floors. Now, I complicated that more for myself by adding few more layers where I'll say that every time I come to the canteen, which is in the first floor, I'll still walk. I'll not take the lift. So in a day, basically 32 to 36 floors of workout used to automatically happen, which became a habit. So you don't know how strength is getting built. And that will play out to you on the day of Comrades. You will not even realize. Small things like sipping water once every 2 hours, or sipping an ORSL even during your office day, replacing ORSL instead of a coffee. Small things like these. It's about forming those habits and being consistent on that. So that helped. And no matter where you are, it's important that you do the workout. For example, there are days when I would have tremendous travel to be done, and that day sir would have given me a 1 hour tempo run, to be done. I can't do that. But what I used to rather do is I used to go to the airport and I used to walk in the airport for 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers. I used to reach half an hour, 40 minutes early. I will put my bag and check in. The rest of the bag I'll keep with me and I'll keep walking. So rather than completely missing out a workout, something is always better than nothing. So try to form those small cheats and habits which can work for you. And it's important that we be consistent in that. Just showing up on your bad day is very important. You would have completely given up not going today. That is when you tell yourself, no, I'll still go. Even if my alarm didn't ring and I got up at 7:30, I will still take uh, a shot. I'll still go there at 8 o'clock, do 5 kilometers and come back rather than missing out the entire thing. So this is something Comrades has taught. And last thing over here, which is key, is don't look back at what has happened from September, October till now. Forget it. That's gone. That's history. What you need to do now is very simple. You have that goal with you. You have Comrades. You have finish line. That is where you need to reach, and you will do anything to reach to that finish line. I think that has to be the only single thought that has to be in your head, that from now till the next 70 days, I'm not going to do anything else. I am going to cross that finish line and I am going to be victorious at Comrades. Okay. So this is one of my most favorite quotes. It says that your psychology imprints your physiology. Whatever you're going to move it's not your body that is going to make you move. It is your head, it's your mental strength that is actually going to make your body move. So your psychology is going to imprint your physiology over the next 72 days, right? Okay. Quickly moving on. Now, these are slightly different from the previous slide. These are certain life lessons that Comrades has taught me. So, for some people, it may be the ops that might, motivate you. For some, it might be something more deeper. So, for me, these were few things which Comrade had a very deep learning on me. First things first, realize your potential. If I looked at myself in 2008, probably I would have continued doing just dream run, maybe walking for 5 kilometers. From walking from 5 kilometers to doing a 90-kilometer run is great. It's a journey. And realizing this potential that each one of us has is key. Okay, so same is going to be the case with each one of you. You do not know what your potential is until and unless you run that 90 kilometers on 14th of June. So let this run be important to you to help you realize your potential. Second most important thing is it helped me break a lot of barriers. We have a lot of physical barriers, mental barriers that we are carrying every single day with us. मैं ये नहीं कर सकता हूँ, मैं नहीं कर सकती हूँ, इतना distance मुझसे नहीं होगा, I cannot go through this torture for the next 2 months, ये नहीं होगा. But this this single mission that we are on is going to help us break a lot of barriers, and not just from a race perspective. Even later on, when you come out on the other side of the finish line, you are going to be a very different person. It might sound very philosophical when I say it here, but that's a fact. Okay. This is something I realized, or this was a learning during my journey. It helps you develop a bulletproof mindset. Come what may, whatever may happen, I am not going to deviate from what I have set out for. So this is something which your entire training is putting you through. You know, you are becoming so bulletproof that come what may, anything may happen on race day. Things may not go as per the plan. I may have a bad start to the whole thing. I may have a fall, etc., etc. I'm still going to continue and I'm still going to complete it because that's my only mission. Okay. Most importantly, I think when I started off this journey and when I came out of the finish line, and I think back in the flight, I was just sitting and reflecting. I think I had become a better version of my own self. I can very confidently say that the Avinash which I knew back before 2023 and the Avinash that I know now, I am a much better person. I'm a better human being more than anything else, and this is something that the race has taught me in multiple ways. How is a big question, but then it's an overall concoction of experience that it gives you. Most importantly is the attitude of gratitude. The number of people you're going to meet, the number of people who have actually helped you in this journey. Okay, it starts from your running buddies. It starts from your group of people. It starts with this clan of people. It starts with coaches like Satish sir, who are there to mentor you, guide you, etc. It's the larger running ecosystem in India. It's the larger running ecosystem across the world. All of this, and most importantly, is our family, which is often neglected or often overlooked. See, they are the ones who are bearing with our tantrums for the last 6 months now, and they're going to bear with our tantrums for the next 2 months. No weekend outing, no eating outside, sleeping early, no time for anything else. Only thing we're talking is comrades, etc., etc. They're bearing the brunt of it. So somewhere, I think having that attitude of gratitude for every other person who has touched us in the journey is key, because it's collectively that's going to make our dream happen. Uh, Another big learning for me is that I always thought that what am I running for? And eventually, after this run, I realized that yes, my passion is also with a very deep purpose. And that deep purpose may be different for each of us. For me, at least, it was more about once I've achieved at this particular distance level, etc. It kindled a lot of thought in me that how can I give back to the running community in whatever way I can. And this session is again one such forum through which it's important to share whatever you have learned, right? So they say in our evolution that for the first few years in your life you learn, then for the next few years you earn, and then after that you return. So it's very important that we are also able to give back in terms of what we have learned. And last but not the least, the quote which all of us have always heard from the legend Eliud Kipchoge is that no human is limited. This is something which this race is going to make you realize. And on the race day, each of you, each of you who's on this call is going to emerge as a winner. You're going to cross that finish line with a broad smile, and that feeling that you have is absolutely priceless. Okay. So I just want to put this interesting quote that I saw that, a life without a cause is actually a life without an effect. So I'm very happy that all of us have a cause here, which is Comrades. And through Comrades, our life will certainly have a much, much larger effect that we have. Okay. So I think last couple of slides, we will need to wind up. It's 9:05. So, two important pieces of literature which I thought is important for you all to read, if at all you're into reading and if you want to do, is this is Winged Messenger by Bruce Fordyce. So, for people who don't know who Bruce Fordyce is the South African runner who's won Comrades Marathon gold 9 times. That's the largest number of gold which is ever won by anybody. So he's penned down a book about his preparatory journey to Comrades. It's more of a log book. If you actually read through this book, he will say that today morning I got up, I went running, I did this. Next day morning I got up. Today I couldn't get up. It's actually an account, and when you read this book, it's actually a reflection on how your training plans also are. So I had a great time reading this book. I was fortunate to host Bruce Fordyce in India in 2018 when he had first come to India. And that time I did not even know what Comrades was. In fact, it was one statement from him which said that, when are you going to do Comrades? So I said, sometime soon. And that thought remained with me. And after about 6 years, when I finally went and did the 23 Comrades, I had a chance to meet Bruce, and I told Bruce, hey, Bruce, you know what? You had told me that you need to do Comrades. So I've come here and I'm fulfilling my promise. He actually made a mention and he said, you know what? Be my winged messenger. So for each of you here who are on the call, each of you all are a winged messenger for Comrades. Each of you all have the responsibility of carrying the India contingent to success, India contingent to glory. And each of you all are a winged messenger for us, right? The other book is again Dare to Run. Beautifully written book, which is very easy to read. It's just got about 150, 200 pages to read. But Amit Seth was the former brand ambassador for Comrades from India. He and his wife Nipa were the first couple to do Comrades Marathon several years back. And his first run of Comrades was unsuccessful. He did not complete it. That kind of prompted him to write a book called as Dare to Run. And trust me, it's a beautiful book to read before you do your Comrades. Everything, all that's been spoken and all that you have read, he has very beautifully captured it into one single book, and he has put it out for the running fraternity. So if you get a chance to read the book, please do read it. I have a copy with me. Should anybody not be able to get something, you can always reach out to me. I'll be happy to share the copy of this book. Right? So I think that's pretty much from my side. Whatever little I could capitalize and share.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was really nice, beautiful. I love that sentence. You say, learn, earn, and return. Amazing. And guys, anybody's got any questions to ask? And I have few questions after that I can ask them.
So Avinash, it was really great listening to you. Honestly, it gives there's a lot of goosebumps, but honestly, listening to you definitely has given some confidence. I have two questions from my end. So one, see, basically 88 is something, as you know, we are never dreamt of, correct? कि 88 सोच के ही कुछ होता है. So that, but we are basically venturing towards that. So it's very something which you really never dreamt of, but you have ventured into it. So and sir always, I remember one thing. Sir always sometimes says कि भैया real comrade तो ना 65 के बाद शुरू होता है. 65 के बाद ही real comrade starts, correct? So to a large extent, I basically at this point of time sitting here, I think that's true to some extent, because as of now, I've done 50, 56, 65, I don't know. We hope that 65 will finish strong, but at least going by the experience, I've done 56. So I believe even when you do Comrades, I don't know, I think that 60 to 75 is going to be very crucial. I think that's the most, my mind says as of now, 60 to 75 is going to be very important, because 60 लगता हो जाएगा, 50 किया, 56 किया है, 65 का 60 कर लेंगे, and once you do 75, you know भैया 12-13 तो कैसे भी मर के कर लेंगे. I think 60 to 65 is going to be very crucial. Now, I want to hear from you your experience on the second half. Basically, after 50-55, how was it? Basically, it was very smooth, comfortable. How was the entire experience? Because I'll tell you, I'm sure, I think maybe the second half 55-60, there could be chances that your body will really give up. Bhaiya, ab mere se nahi hota hai. It's really the mind which will take you. So what is your thought process on that? It's possible that 50-55-60, your body may give up, karna hai, nahi karna, hoga, nahi hoga. A lot of thoughts will come in your mind because so how your
Very
mind has to
valid,
push.
very
Absolutely.
very valid, very valid
Yeah,
observation.
and add to that, if you can tell, I mean, looking back now, what you must have, done it better,
Correct.
and that way, So in,
Sure.
in your training at the same time on the race day also.
Correct.
Correct. So specific to the uprun. So first things first, you don't realize how the kilometers go. Uh, to be honest, on that day, the kilometers get ticked off much faster than what you would have done in your training runs or events. You can take this from me, and you can take it from any other person who has done Comrades also.
Because now with the tired legs they're running. So there the tapering is there, then, yeah.
So the 88 may not even seem like how it is happening. The beauty in Comrades is that they will always talk about how many kilometers are elapsed, right? First things first, it's very easy going. Even after 50-55, to be honest, we didn't feel that we still have a very long way to go. So that's the feeling which most runners are going to have until and unless you've done something disastrously wrong, which is going to lead you to that. Things to avoid here, which I would say, is that don't go too fast in your first half. As we would always say, go conservative in the first half. And once you know that you're strong, it's very difficult to even safeguard your square meter of place when you're running. So in most of the times, people are taking you along with them. You are not even doing anything. The crowd itself is so magnificent that it is kind of pushing you and taking you. So one, don't have any such apprehensions कि हम 55 के बाद क्या करेंगे. Most people, at least I felt extremely strong even at the finish line. I could have done another 10 kilometers after that, is the feeling I went with.
Understood.
So the fatigue will set in only when you know that my finish line is in the next 10 kilometers. Don't even do that. Just go with the flow. So one thing that's worked well for me is that keep it very simple. Don't overcomplicate it with timing, gadgets. ये particular cutoff में मुझे ये time पे निकलना था, नहीं हुआ. All of those things. It's good to have those cutoffs with you, which is important, but don't get overly paranoid by the fact that I couldn't cross this in so much time, I should have done it, etc., etc. That will only add to your stress on that day. Things that could have been done better, honestly, if I have to answer, I think I did the best which I could over there, and that's how we got under 11 hours, which was very surprising for me. So I will want to keep it very simple. I think start conservative. Sir would always say that, not start consuming before you actually feel thirsty. Don't wait for you to feel thirsty. Similarly, keep eating on and off so that you don't feel completely hungry or dehydrated. Let those not be the reason for you kind of fatiguing yourself out. And more importantly, wear a very comfortable clothes which you're always used to doing. Don't do anything fancy. Start wearing the India jersey itself on a couple of runs before also. It's perfectly fine, so that you get a feel of it. So those are the only tips which I have. I would want to keep it as simple as it. It's very doable. Again, I'm not exaggerating it, but it's very doable. All that you need to do is get started. I'm sure as a child you would have seen those small toys which you get, right? Once you give the chavi, it will stop only at the finish line. Uske pehle, it's not going to stop. Keep that in the mind. I have to finish it, and after finishing, I have to, catch the flight, come back to India. People waiting, celebration. ये सोचते रहो बस, तो finish line पहुंच जाता है.
Understood. Understood. One final question. Second question. This is more personal, which I've been experiencing the last couple of runs when I did my. So one, the first long run ultra which I did was last year, ultra marathon 50. So unfortunately, that was very pathetic. So we did. So we three of us did. Praveen is there in the call. We did in 7.5 hours.
Okay.
So मतलब वो हमारे लिए बंद करने के लिए रुका था. जैसे हम गए बोला done. That was what it is. So we did in 7 or 29 minutes. That was very bad. So coming to, and this year again we did this Tata Ultra 50 and then we did this 56 Ganpati Phule.
Correct.
But actually both the runs, before the run, anxiety level is very high, was very high. This is something I didn't know, but I've been personally experiencing in both these runs. The day before the race, the anxiety levels are very high. कि even though ऐसा कोई कॉमरेड्स तो नहीं है कि हुआ, कॉमरेड्स तो करना ही है, पर टाटा अल्ट्रा हुआ नहीं हुआ ठीक है, मतलब ट्राई करना है, बट स्टिल द एंजाइटी लेवल्स वर वेरी हाई even before Tata Ultra 50, even before Ganpati Phule. So how do you? I don't know whether it's the right question, whether it will be answer, but
No, it's a
how
right
do you
question.
really, how do you really come out of it? Get rid of it to whatever best possible extent. You come out of it actually.
Anxiety level will be 10 times more in South Africa.
I know that. That's why I'm asking this. That's why I know that. Naini, I know that.
So the best way to deal it is it's a very small shift in the way you think about it. So always think of this as a celebration. This has worked well for me. It's a celebration. Think of the worst case scenario. When I do these two things now, one, I think of it as a celebration. Ki I'm having fun. I'm going to go there and run. I'm going to run with the other 22,000 people. Maza aayega. I'm going to spot a lot of characters. So I by nature, I'm a very chatty runner. So I keep talking to random strangers, gender agnostic. Whoever comes on the way, I'll be chatting, chit-chatting and talking and running. That works well for me. So changing the whole mindset that it's a celebration that I'm going to go tomorrow, I'm going to look forward to it, will help reduce anxiety to a large extent. One.
Understood.
Second, over discussing things with people also kind of, I mean, if you can kind of cut yourself out to a lot of communication on the previous day, the day before that, etc., etc., just be to yourself, just focus on what needs to be done. That also works wonders. And three is whatever is done, whatever is gone is gone. If, as per your reading, if you think that the Ganpati Phule run or the Tata Ultra was not up to the best of your runs, maybe Comrades is, the best is still waiting. So go with that mindset. I think it's all about the mind at the end of the day. Physically, you're already putting in mileages, you're making yourself physically strong. So finally, let the psychology imprint on your physiology and let it be a very happy, strong, glee finish that you're going to have along with everybody. And if you have somebody along with you, it's always fun. It works well for me. First
Great.
year, I had Satish sir as my bakra. I told him I'm not going to leave you from start line to finish line. Poor fellow was trapped with us. And then next year, Arun and I did that together. So right from the start till the end, we would just go. And along the way, if you can just help a few runners, chit chat with them. It takes your mind off the whole thing. I think that's key. That's important.
But the race day excitement is like even for me also 2-3 years, it was there. One day before you don't get proper sleep also.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
True.
don't get sleep. It
So
is
just
there
live with
no
that.
matter
Yeah,
what
live
happens, but it is
with
good.
that
One way it's
sentiment.
good
It's
also.
good. It's good.
Yeah, it's all
Keeps you
right.
on your toe.
Great.
But
It's a
after
good
that,
thing.
slowly, then I got into that, अरे ये तो हर साल करने का ही है. So, उतना ज़्यादा tension नहीं है. So, at the same time, if you think like, I don't know, meditate little bit on day before and you think yourself like, training तो अच्छा होगा अभी तो कल भी अच्छा होने वाला है अभी. चलो, जो है वो है. Just सो जाओ अभी, just don't think about it much.
I think I'll concur with
Tell
Satish
yourself.
sir on that point. If you can just transfer that whole responsibility out of you into some superpower and say कि देखो मैंने तो सब कुछ कर दिया.
अभी
Rest,
आप
whatever is it, let it happen for good, and then go out completely empty. Go like you have nothing to lose.
Understood.
Go like I told you ना, worst case scenario, if you prepare that and go, कि maximum क्या होगा, first kilometer में रुक जाऊंगा, चलो ठीक है, I'll come back to hotel and sleep. Simple backup plans like this. If
Uh,
you mind that way,
so,
it works out well.
so,
Yeah,
so
Praveen.
this is Praveen here actually.
Yeah, hi
So what
Praveen.
has happened is like the first Tata race that me, Nagaraj, all of us did, that was forget that race. The interesting part is the next time we ran the Tata race, we did really well. The
Wow,
Tata
that's
Ultra.
nice.
The anxiety was really high. I mean, Naga and Benny finished in I think 5:40, 45. I
Yeah,
finished in 6.
nice.
But we felt good that from 7:30 we finished in 6 actually,
It's
and they even
amazing.
better than
Wow,
me.
wow.
Yeah. So but then Satish sir said, okay, ये तो ठीक है, अभी 56 करना है. And we're like, okay, अभी ये क्या हो गया? And then everybody said, Ganpati Phule is like really tough. It is like half Comrades, ये वो सब. And the anxiety levels on that Saturday were so high that, it was really bad. It was
No, I can
so bad.
completely imagine.
And I thought कि
But this time it, for
मुझे लगा
them,
था ये
no.
नहीं होगा मेरे से. And
प्रवीण मैं क्या बोलता हूँ आप
so
लोगों पे ना
uh,
सॉरी या टेल मी या टेल या ये कंटिन्यू प्रवीण
let me just complete.
Yeah.
I'll just complete in a minute.
Yeah.
So I was scared actually, and Naga का भी हालत खराब था. And Naga started asking existential questions that why am I here? Why are we doing this? ये वो. And I'm really I got anxiety. ऊपर से ऐसा बात कर रहा है. Okay. And I'm like, I mean, why are we doing this? You know, like, what is this 56 kilometers? What is this, comrades? And like, you know, मुझे तो नहीं जमेगा and all that. And that part, then it was 12 o'clock, and हम लोग went off to sleep for around 3 hours before the race. Then it was 12 o'clock, all of us were at the venue. तभी भी थोड़ा बहुत एंजाइटी था. Interesting part, or the beautiful part is once we started running, it was only running, no anxiety, nothing. Okay, we the more we ran, the more free we felt. We took it like, not exactly a challenge, but we enjoyed the run. There were no pains, there were no heartburns, there was no stomach problem, which we all had suffered for like, earlier 12, 15 hours. I went to the loo for 20 times. I thought about IBS and all that kind of stuff. But the moment I started for 7 hours, I mean, these, when it maybe, I think 6:40, I think, like,
Nice.
So we just ran, and it was beautiful. So, but see, I think this is a problem. So एक फैमिली फ्रेंड इज जीपी, मैं उसके पास गया और बोला कि ऐसा ऐसा प्रॉब्लम आई हैव दैट एंजाइटी एंड ऑल. So she just asked me one thing, like, the result क्या था? I said, like, result was extremely satisfying. So she said that anxiety is worth it, not an issue. Okay. So she said that I'm not going to give you any medicine for this. Just जितना रेस भागेगा उतना तू डरेगा, उतना you will do well. Okay, just get out, don't meet me again. So she says anxiety will remain. वो क्या है वो? She says that वो स्कूल का बच्चे लोगों को, especially engineering students, and they every time go through this every year during their exams. You're just going through that. Okay, इसके ऊपर दवाई बिवाई कुछ नहीं है. The more exams you write, the more anxiety you will feel. The point is कि तेरा result क्या आ रहा है? Are you faring better with every run that you are doing? तो मैं बोला हाँ वो बात सही है. बोला forget it. Then that is what matters.
True, very. I think beautifully
So
put, Praveen. Yeah.
No. Actually, this year.
Yeah, Satish sir.
But this year, Praveen, like you all had a very good this thing set of runs you're running. Like for example, Tata Ultra, it's like not much of elevation compared to now Ganpati Pule. Ganpati Pule is better elevation and your weather and everything tougher. Now next one is Kalimpong, another tough race. It's tougher than Comrades is going to be.
Yes.
So you're going one level up always, like so it's really testing you all your training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's really while you were talking, I could feel something in my stomach, like कि यार Kalimpong आ गया, like.
And the final is like maybe like the easier one, but we can have a faster one there. Like you'll automatically do well there. And then
No,
tapering.
actually, sir, the training that you are giving us is amazing. It's just amazing. We are just managing every run, every next run that we do is actually a much more beautiful run, even in the training sessions, and the races are just getting better and better. There is no question about that. Okay, so I think, like, the anxiety, we should take it as a part of the game, and basically, something that you should try to treat yourself with. हो जाएगा, like,
Very
So
true.
now I'm not going to discuss anxiety at all whenever we are in the same room.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Any Jilam and this one Kawal and all. Want any questions, Anish, Sorit?
No, sir, I think mostly they have been addressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
No doubt. No, these things like he said he was telling about that training ka bolte hai na, like this is like don't worry if you're not doing well now. There's 70 more days to go and stuff like that. Kawal?
My only challenges have been that, yeah, of course, my Ultra and Ganpati Pule, both the runs I finished up with a lot of cramps. So that's only my scary part is now, the Kalimpong coming over. I am just wishing and crossing my fingers that I don't end up in all those, difficulties which I had in these two runs. Otherwise, distance is not a problem. It's just that cramping which I'm scared of. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That maybe with the diet, you have to work it with the diet and, sort of.
Yeah, maybe so. That's the only fear I have. Otherwise, there's no other fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to you about that.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sir.
And Jilam, Sorit,
Surit to
Well,
fine.
sir, I guess Avinash, covered all the points beautifully. And only thing I am feeling right now is that as the mileages are going up, um, and there is a kind of fatigue, as if I'm tired most of the times. सो सो जाती हूँ. अब मैं लेटती हूँ तो नींद नहीं आती है. I can't sleep. So I don't know. Does this, is it a natural thing? Does it actually happen with
I
everyone?
used to call it as a unnamed feeling, Jilam. That's very bound to happen, and just stay with it. It's
हो
perfectly
गया.
fine.
अभी इतना ही सोचने का. अभी मंथ एंड हो गया. ये लास्ट मंथ है. ऐसा सोच के you just carry on.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. होता
No,
है
I
वो.
think
Even we feel. I mean, I am feeling already sleepy now. Like morning run. Yesterday I ran. Tuesday I didn't run. Yesterday I ran because of that. And today again I did hill repetitions. Tomorrow again I have to go because
Okay. Some
Gaurav
may
is
not
coming
experience
tomorrow.
it as. Yeah.
Sorry. And Gaurav is coming. Gaurav could not do today. He is running tomorrow here. Then I told him, okay, मैं आता हूँ. But मैं हिल नहीं करेगा. Just company देगा. Morning जाएगा थोड़ा सा walk करके आ जाएगा मैं.
Yeah, but Jeelam, even I feel the fatigue, and I'm getting this feeling since almost a week now that I am tired. I get tired, and then probably in office also I will probably doze off for a couple of minutes, and yeah, so even I am I'm getting that fatigue feeling and all. Trust
It's
me.
very, very natural, and trust me when I'm saying it that at the end, now all of this is just going to disappear in the background once you all cross the finish line and once you all complete Comrades. This is all going to only make your victory that much even more special, because when you
This is
actually look back, you need something interesting to look back. Now, like if you've not slept in office and nobody has caught you, what's the fun?
Absolutely.
That behind the driving wheel, forget other things. I was driving back
Absolutely.
home and I used to feel sleepy. So those are very natural things. And last point again to mention, which kind of might help you all in understand. My second year preparation was as disaster as it could be. I ended up almost getting an IT band at a wrong time. I was
Okay.
doing the CAS Ultra, I think 65. Just finished Tata Ultra and Tata Mumbai. So CAS Ultra, first kilometer, I had the cramp and I had a IT band thing. What I only did, good, bad, I don't know. I'm not judging myself, but I continued. For 64 kilometers, I think I ran with one leg, literally. I was dragging the other leg, but I wanted to do the distance. And after that, I missed every single long run possible. I did not do Nasik, I did not do the next run. So, literally from early March till June, I was on zero mileage. So it used to scare Satish sir also to an extent कि तू करने वाला है नहीं करने वाला है. But end of the day, whatever little could be possible, I did that. And trust me, it's like you're reserving the best for the last. On race day, everything worked out just perfectly well, and things worked. So my point of sharing it here is not a sob story, but races may not go well for you all now. There are so many factors that go into a race being good. Your own
true, true.
expectation. Sometimes the race is nice. Your expectation out of your own self is मुझे 6:30 में करना था.
That's the
We
thing.
have put these own parameters for ourselves. All that Satish sir is asking you is time on feet. That's all.
Hmm.
His ask is simple. We have complicated it by saying मुझे 6:30 में करना था sir. So even after scoring 99, we are disappointed because we didn't get 100. So one thing is, don't be so harsh on yourself. You've done well. All that you need to do is next 70 days, whatever we've done well, just celebrate that. You're in a taper after Kalimpong or any other race, and just enjoy it. Take it easy. Don't complicate it. I would
Uh,
just say that.
Normally what I do is after the run I come back and sleep for 10 minutes का अलार्म भी रखता हूँ. 10 मिनट का अलार्म रखता हूँ या 15 मिनट का रखता हूँ. टाइम रहेगा तो 15 मिनट्स का. कभी कभी मैं सो जाता हूँ 15 मिनट्स. ये कीप्स यू फ्रेश. नाइस. यू फील नाइस. वो भी हो
See,
जाता
this
बट इट्स
man over here has got a lot of cheats, okay, which nobody in the world probably would have. Right from pull the rope, which he does on the climbs, to 1 2 3 4. It may look
Actually,
very trivial, but
correct.
it works wonders. It just works wonders.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That pull the rope strategy is so psychological that you're actually imagining a rope, you're pulling it across. It works.
This
Yeah.
they're not experienced. They on the running the on the hill, no, pull the rope.
And
Oh,
breaking into a brisk walking with something he helped me discover, like the moment you stop, instead of walking, immediately start with a brisk walking so that your heart rate also comes down, you're in momentum and you're able to quickly pick and run. So many such tips will it's just about identifying those tips, putting what works for you, having a plan in place, going executing the plan and enjoying it. That's all. So keep it simple. It
That's why
will
in
work.
the training runs, you have to run with me to know all those things,
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, as he said, all these trainings and all that, you're getting, you're tired and every day getting up and doing it, stuff like that. On the race day, after you finish, oh, ultimate, that's the reason people cry. People like, the Pathan is one of the toughest policemen in Bandra section. Like, those chor log hai na, they are like scared of him. Pathan naam sun ke wo udhar hi wo, they do susu. That way it is very scary, that guy is. He cried. Yusuf, I mean, apna
White
Wahid
Pathan.
Pathan.
White
Yeah, he
Pathan.
cried that day on that this thing. I could see him literally crying, looking at me like, sir, kya kiya aapne? Sort of like,
It's a very
finished
special
it.
feeling which you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to
It's like,
experience
comes automatically, you feel
automatically.
in
Yeah.
motion. Aa jata hai. Anyway. So any other questions, guys?
Nice, sir. Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's what, he will tell you also the same thing what you're going through, like, back to back, Saturday 2025 and Sunday 30-32, automatic it goes, like, you are going through now, right now. He's gone through that also. So this is all important phase. And this is April is the peak. Now, ये हो गया, sir, हो गया आपका almost. So be hanging there. सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. इतना किया तो अभी 2-3 हफ्ता है, बस उतना ही. आपका क्या है, हिल्स को तीन हिले 4 हिले लगते हैं, बस खत्म बाद में आप लोगों को.
Just hang in there. I think that's the mantra.
Yeah,
Just hang
exactly.
in there. Do
That's
nothing.
it. That's it. One day at a time.
One day at a time. Absolutely.
You'll be there. Right. Thank you so much for doing
Thanks
this
a lot,
for us.
Thank
Avinash.
My
you.
pleasure.
Thanks
It's
a
so
lot,
nice
Avinash.
to
Much.
meet you all, and I hope
Excellent.
to join you all on one of the the runs which you all are doing. Maybe I'll
Oh,
join.
wow. We look forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Sure.
have for Mumbaikers, like, we have one run week before in Eastern Express, Run with the Comrades.
Oh yeah.
That definitely, Avinash, you must come there.
I will
Run with the
join.
Comrades, all comrades will come there and we do a meet and greet the comrades, So, Nagaraj, this Kaval, you should not miss it, Praveen. And,
We'll be there.
Sure, sir.
yeah,
Yes,
it's
sir.
an amazing thing. Get together. It's very nice run, Beautiful run. We organize
Fly
it
down
every
Jilam
year.
from Calcutta for the meet and greet.
Oh, for that, I will have to make a monthly pass now.
Monthly pass, yeah.
Flight.
It will be worth it, Jilam.
Flight
Don't
ka monthly pass.
Sorry, any question is there?
No, sir.
Done, sir.
Good.
Okay.
Surya is
All right.
flying. He's just waiting now. He can already see 88 now.
All right. Thank you so very much, guys.
Thank you
And,
so much,
Thank you
Avinash.
so
It
much.
was a
Avinash,
wonderful
thank
session. So
All the very
much we
best
got to learn from
to
you.
thank
each
you
of
for
us
doing
here.
this for us.
My
Thanks,
pleasure,
thanks.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.